Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another issue of Nerd Nation, issue number 29. And we are traveling back in time. Yes, on Keith's shirt. We're traveling back in time, part of our series, revisiting the decades, and we are going back to the 90s today. And boy, do we have some movies to talk about. And it's not just, obviously, I know. It's not just me. Obviously, I am with Gio right there and Keith down there. How are you guys?
Good.
Excellent.
I was born in 1990, so I remember this decade a lot more than the last.
Keith, he ages us every single time. Every single time. He throws like a little jab to age us.
Yeah. I was 90. I was 11. So
I was 5 months.
Really?
So I was just
okay.
I barely caught the end of that 89. So but yeah. So like I said, we are doing a series right now where we have been traveling through the decades starting last week with the 80s. This week is the 90s. And if you know anything about 90s comic book movies, I don't even have words for them. It's it's wow. We did that. A
lot of dumpster diving here in this decade. Here.
Yeah. It was a lot of trying to figure out what to do with these characters, and boy, did they not know. So how this works is we are going to visit each year from 1990 to 1999. Some of them will have one movie. Some of them will have a couple. Some of them get repetitive, so we might go a little bit over some of them to get to the really good ones. Because, I mean, let's be honest, we want to talk about the really good ones. Well, the good ones of the time.
Better.
Yeah.
The least terrible ones.
Yeah. The ones that are mildly watchable. But yeah. So we're just going to go right into it, have as much time to talk about as we can. So we're going to start with 1990. And that is going to be our introduction to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This was the first live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You can tell that it was the first live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But yeah, obviously the very popular comic that spawned TV shows and movies and everything, cartoons, follows the turtles that mutate into superheroes, essentially. But yeah, this movie dropped in 1990. It was, I was trying to find the actual date of it. It dropped in 1990 in, let's see, March 30th of 1990, directed by Steve Barron. And the movie pulled in $202 million.
Yeah.
So not a bad haul for
an independent film, which the first TMT was.
Yeah. So yeah. I know I remember this movie. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was like at this time. Well, I shouldn't say at this time. When I was understanding things, it was like Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So yeah, I definitely, this is one. We're starting to get into the movies that I've seen. So this is definitely...
that's interesting.
What?
So, because I saw it in the theater. I was, because I was a huge Ninja Turtles guy. I love the animated series was like the big thing. A lot of people didn't know it was a comic. I didn't know it until the movie was coming out, and then I heard that it was a comic, and then I went and read some of the comics and thought, this is way better. I like the animated series. It's fun, but it was way more campier and kid-friendly than what was the
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that theme song and everything, all that stuff. Yeah, that's what the movie drew more from the comic.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But the interesting thing, what you said, because you say it was for, like, by the time you started kind of pay attention to this stuff, it was Power Rangers, and it was Ninja Turtles. Because for me, when I saw it, age 11, it was the other way around. Like, I saw Power Rangers, and I was like, what is this garbage? Like, this is fake Ninja Turtles, fake Voltron sort of thing. It seemed like definitely as popular as Power Rangers was, and I'm not bashing them. I'm just saying it felt like for a lot of kids at my age, it's like they're kind of certainly capitalizing off of the Ninja Turtles and their popularity, because there were a lot of rip-offs, video games. Remember Battletoads? I don't know if you remember that video game.
There was so many.
A lot of rip-offs.
Something Beetle something I remember.
Yes. I know. Yeah. I know exactly. Oh,
yeah.
But
I don't know.
It was awesome. It was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, it was good for what it was. What about you? Do you remember seeing this or?
Well, I'm still too young for the theatrical experience. Yeah. I'm at this time. I'm just born. No, I'm not even born yet when the movie comes out. But I caught this movie on VHS. Saw it a lot growing up. The first two movies, in particular. But as a kid, I loved it. It was just seeing the turtles kick ass and their one-liners. It was a whole lot of fun as a kid, and I thought Casey Jones was the coolest guy around. With his hockey mask and hockey stick, beating up the Foot Clan.
Mm-hmm. And a cricket bat.
Right. and growing up, as I watched it, more as I got older, I appreciated more just the, especially today, like what they were able to pull off in 1990, because unlike the most recent TMNT movies, there was no CGI back then. Mm-hmm. There was no computer.
Right.
This is pre-Jurassic Park era for movies. So everything that you're seeing, the rubber suits, the turtles, it's people in there bringing fictional characters to life, and for me, I just appreciated that so much more. Yeah, it doesn't really hold up as much nowadays, with as far as like
disagree.
Shredder's costume. I'm like, what are you wearing?
Disagree.
Just the little things like that. I still enjoy the movie very much, more than the ones that followed it. But yeah, so
I think it holds up very well. Surprisingly well. I watched it maybe about a year and a half ago with my kids because they hadn't seen it, and they liked it. And just I was surprised, just in my opinion.
Go ahead.
Held up.
I think for the most part it holds up. It's just little things that don't hold up. Like.
It's definitely dated.
Stuff like that. I mean,
it's definitely dated. But I think
that goes to say for any movie in this decade. Really.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, we're
sure. Okay.
No, I was just gonna say this movie is literally as of this year 30 years old. So it's I know. Right. I just aged myself again. Damn it!
It just turned 30, right?
Yeah, this year. 2 months ago.
I'm pretty sure I think the Jim Henson workshop did the did the heads.
They did the first two, the bodysuits and whatnot.
Yeah. I think those definitely still look pretty good, like I said. And the actor, I'm trying to think of his name. The actor that plays Casey Jones, he's been in a bunch of stuff.
I have the list. It's perfect. Elias Koteas.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That guy was absolutely perfect, man. I've never. We've had obviously Hugh Jackman, all that stuff, but they nailed it with that guy. He was perfect, Casey Jones.
Wait a minute. Yeah, you said Hugh Jackman played Casey Jones.
Oh, no, I was saying it was Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and then
okay, he's
people that are like perfect casting. He's up on that list, man. Perfect.
Nice. Yeah.
Casting.
Fair enough. So yeah, that was 1990. Again, we're still getting into this groove of comic book movies in this decade, which rolls us to 1991 and the sequel, which was TMNT 2, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. It kind of this is where the ball starts to it starts to hit a couple bumps in the road. definitely didn't make as much money as it did before. It only made
Really?
78.6 million, which it got a bigger budget too. The first one got 13.5 to make. This one got 25 million. So not the best, but
interesting. I'm kind of surprised by that.
Yeah. You want to take this one a little bit, Gio? Because I know we were talking about it before.
Yeah. So okay, as much of a success the first one was, and I wasn't there for the time, so maybe you could talk about it, Keith.
Obviously,
Apparently, a lot of the parents complained about the violence of the first movie, and how, and again, the filmmakers are just trying to keep close to the source material, which was comic books, and those comic books were dark. So what did they do in this one? They lighten it. They lighten it a lot. In fact, I remember seeing a video where they very rarely, if at all, don't use their weapons, the swords, the nunchucks. They don't use any of it because for parents it was too violent. But the movie itself, watching as a kid, still fun. I couldn't tell the difference. It was just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles kicking ass, and then you had Creatures, which at the time I enjoyed. It was because could get a little repetitive seeing the Turtles beat up Foot Clan after Foot Clan, and the bald guy with the mean resting face just standing from a distance. I can't remember his name, but and then you had Ernie Reyes Jr., teenager who played the delivery boy, who was in the movie probably too much. Fan of Ernie Reyes Jr. I liked him in The Rundown with The Rock, where he's kicking his ass in the jungle. But in this movie, is just I want to see more of the Turtles. So yeah, it's definitely more kid friendly, this one, and for better or worse.
Yeah, it definitely was less weapony. By the way, it's called TMNT, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze.
Secret of the Ooze.
But yes, it was definitely toned down. It even says on some of the review little things, it says, unlike the first film, this entire entry rarely showed the use of the Turtles' weapons. They instead fight barefisted for much of this film as a part of an attempt to tone down the violence of the previous film. So, yeah, I mean, clearly that plays a factor into it. So, yeah, I mean, this one, it has its qualms. I mean, we know the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as their weapons are a part of them. Like, that's next to their colored bandana, their weapons are like kind of what signifies that's who that one is. So, I mean, you take that away, you kind of take away a little bit of their persona. So, and I think that kind
of, like taking away Wolverine's claws.
Yeah, it's like, here, Wolverine, keep him shielded away and just use your fists.
Right.
Well, I'll say you're 100% right, Brian. Actually, in the comic, their weapons was their distinction, because they all had red bandanas in the comic. The anime series is where they actually they were the ones that gave me the idea for different colored bandanas, or different colored masks. So you could make an argument that was the one thing that actually distinguished them, aside from, of course, their names and their personality.
Yeah. But I mean, they all look the same without the mask on.
Looking at them, yeah, because it was largely, I know a lot of them were black and white too, as well, in the original ones. But yeah, I didn't see this for that very reason. All that stuff you just said, everything y'all said about it, I just this looks like the cartoon. And at that point, because the first one was so, it was like, it wasn't that. I mean, it was violent. It certainly had a darker, an edgier kind of feel to it. It wasn't like all cartoonish and stuff, but it still was kid friendly enough. It was Turtles, and they made the images of like, all these ninjas attacking and like beating up Raphael and storming the streets and the sewers and stuff. It probably could look a little bit kind of, I don't know, for a kid, maybe a little kid, little kid. Maybe it's something parents wouldn't want their kids to see. But yeah, this one looked really goofy. You talked about the Vanilla Ice song. I think at this point it was all just like it was a commercial at that point. It was just they're selling toys because the turtles were huge again at the time. So it was all about selling the toys and merchandise, and that's why I'm surprised it made so little money. I would imagine it would have made more.
I mean, for the time, I guess for the time period, it made decent, but I mean, to today's standards, it would be kind of a disappointment. But like we said, that was
to rush out a sequel so soon. Like that's 91, right?
It literally was a year apart, March to March.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, I mean, so that's 91.
Hey, hold on,
now we move. Well,
Vanilla Ice. Any thoughts on?
He dropped it. I mean, he said he left you for it. Go for it.
Man. Ninja Rap. Remember his movie? This is about the same time that he had a movie. Remember that movie?
He had a movie,
yeah. I can't remember what it was called. I'm blanking on the name, but whatever. But yeah,
I'll look for it.
See, there you go. This is at the height of kind of his height or more decline. I don't know, but Ninja Rap.
Apparently, that was a hit back then.
It was. It really
was.
Like,
I mean, that was like at the height of Vanilla Ice.
Hit.
Are you thinking of Cool as Ice?
Cool as Ice. Yes.
91, same year.
Cool as Ice. Wow. It was the same year. Okay. I knew it was. I knew it was around that time. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. So, it was a hit. Like it was a hit. Like I don't know. It wasn't like you heard it on the radio and stuff, but it was popular. Like one of those poppy top 40 things you hear.
Those catchy movie songs.
Yeah.
Probably find it on Kids Bop.
Exactly.
Probably.
Now that's what you call music.
Yep. Volume 137.
Volume. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's 91, and we're gonna move into 1992, the sequel to Batman 1989. Batman Returns. This is our first Batman movie in the 90s. He definitely had his showing in the 90s. This one, I mean, coming off the success of 1989's Batman, I'm gonna let you take this one too, because you like this one. What? You don't want it?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I felt like I was giving you the honor of Batman, so
that's fine. I'm one of the few who actually. Well, I don't know if I'm one of the few. Maybe I'm not, but I like this more than the '89 Batman. I like this one. Okay, first, we'll talk about the characters that were added, the new characters, the new faces. But clearly, in this one, you see that Tim Burton's more comfortable now that he did a Batman movie, and it turned out to be really good, a huge success. He was like, okay, I'm going to step back in for another go and watch me work. And boy, did he work in this movie. Like, just everything that's on screen is just done with just more confidence, from Keaton in the Bruce Wayne Batman role to Burton's look of Gotham City, the up in criminals, bad guys crying. Newsflash for fanboys today: Batman kills in this movie. A lot.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just had to point that out. But the characters, okay, like Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, perfect.
This cast is stacked.
Perfect.
I'll give you that for sure.
Danny DeVito as the Penguin. Hey, if there was during that time, if there's one guy you had to choose to play Penguin, that's probably top 5 for every critic's list if they were a casting director. And then you have God, what's his name again? I keep forgetting.
Walken.
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken.
Yes, Max. I think is Schleck, if I'm not mistaken.
Not Shrek.
Schleck.
Yeah, something like Schleck.
Right.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Shrek, something.
But
it's some weird name.
The way Burton handles Catwoman's Selena Kyle's origin and how she's born, I thought that was done great for that time. The scenes of Selena Kyle and Bruce Wayne, without their masks, very not that they got obviously not, but you think about the Dark Knight Rises, that's those scenes between Bruce Wayne, Christian Bale, and Anne Hathaway's Catwoman. Those came from that. They were inspired by those, and for me, it's just his ability to combine all those and make a great movie. For me, it's why I like it more.
So I this is one of the movies I've seen. I didn't see them in the order, but I do remember this one because I remember it scared me when I was little.
As a kid,
it was
scary.
Yeah, it was a very scary, dark movie. Penguin scared the living daylights out of me as a kid. He was creepy. He was just, he was scary. So I remember this. I remember just how perfect Michelle Pfeiffer was for this. To this day, her Catwoman holds up. This movie was the Burton one that I remembered. Because I like I said, until last week, I hadn't seen the 89 one. So I want to say this was probably in the 90s. I saw all the Batman movies. This was probably the third one I watched. And this was, I just remember it being scary. And I remember being scared of Penguin specifically, especially how when he dies in the end and the blood and stuff's coming out of his, like, that terrified me. So
even Christopher Walken's character, just like all the gray hair and just how he looks.
What about you, Keith? Do you remember this one?
Oh, yeah. I think this movie's bad.
Whoa!
I think this is the. I think this was the beginning of the end, personally, for Tim Burton. Yeah, in my book. Clearly, it's a situation where, like you said, they let him just
do what he wanted, essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, he froze while we're waiting for. Yeah.
I think what he was gonna say was they took off the restraints. They say, Tim Burton, go do whatever you want.
Yeah, okay. We clearly got that after 1989's success.
Right.
That they let him do whatever he wanted. And they gave him a budget of 80 million and the movie made 266.
Mm-hmm.
So there he is.
Keith.
Oh, now
hold on.
Oh, got you a little bit.
Okay, there we go. Yeah,
there we go.
Sorry.
You were saying this was the first movie about Tim Burton that basically,
like, his downfall.
Yeah, beginning of the end for him. Yeah, he. They let him. He did the right thing with the first one. He did sort of like with Michael Bay, what he did with Transformers. Like he did everything the fans wanted in the first one, and then he went ahead and just went Michael Bay in the second one. This one was, he fully just went Tim Burton on. They clearly let him do his thing with this one, and it showed, in my opinion.
I don't know. All right.
Keith?
Well, Keith, I know. Poor Keith.
I want to hear this.
I know. I want to hear his take on it too. As the person that studied film, I mean, Tim Burton's a pretty big person to know film stuff about.
No, but while we're waiting on Keith, you
I thought it
know,
was weird.
hold on, Keith. Are you there?
No.
Oh,
Okay, sorry. What's
okay.
going on
There you
tonight?
go.
This is crazy. Yeah.
Okay, so you were talking
Those damn kids.
about
It is, I think, actually.
the beginning of Burton's downfall.
Yes, and they let him do his thing on this one, just like you said, and it definitely shows. Yeah, that was just unnecessarily darker than and I don't know. It just didn't work for me at all. I thought the penguin was weird and totally not like why is he like a weird bird? He's like an actual penguin. Like why?
Doesn't he squawk kind of too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has like flipper hands and
yeah.
it's like why he's not a real penguin. Like the penguin's not an actual. He's a mobster, and like he's not an actual penguin man. Like why are they doing that? Like I just thought that was very odd.
Hey, I thought Danny DeVito pulled it off very, very
for
well.
What he wanted him to do. Yeah, if that's what he wanted to do. But I just remember thinking like the penguin. This is not the penguin. It's just, he's a crime boss. That's all.
And how about the character depth? You didn't like that? How there was more to Penguin than just I'm a bad guy, you know, like how he was, grew up, without, the way a kid should, grow up, and how people thought he was a freak, and
he was.
Well, yeah, no, for sure, but you can sympathize with that a little bit, just on a human level.
I didn't. I want to see the Penguin getting his gang robbing banks and Batman trying to stop him. That's all I want to see. Like,
so hopefully, what we'll be getting next year.
Yeah, right. Like, you're definitely right about Michelle Pfeiffer. That is one of the most spot on again. Like I was mentioning with Casey Jones, this one is one of the greatest comic book performances ever.
Mm-hmm.
And like she was the one that was like she was in a different movie. Like she was actually like she really was.
Movie.
She was being for real. Like it was really great. Like
every time she was on screen, it was just like
it was
wow.
Awesome. Yeah,
just
she
amazing.
Whatever good you can take in the movie is definitely her. You could tell Michael Keaton didn't really seem that interested, to be honest. And the Batman kill count was definitely high in this one. He set a guy on fire with the Batmobile and the flames from the Batmobile, and it's just a really bizarre movie. I didn't like it.
Yeah, well, definitely with Michelle Pfeiffer. I mean, I feel like she did such a good job that people have a hard time playing Catwoman now because of her. Yeah. But all right, we're gonna jump into 93. Probably be a little quicker on this one because towards the end we got some good ones. 93 saw the third Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Yeah, I mean,
is this the time travel one? When they go back in time?
Yes.
I didn't see it. But I remember like they went to like feudal Japan or something like that.
Yes, they're basically samurais, and
their costumes are terrible. The look of the turtles terrible.
Yeah. It was.
God. How are you given a higher budget and you come up with that?
$21 million budget, pulled in 65. So you could see this. The budget's going up and the money coming in's going down.
Yeah, the returns going down.
Yeah.
You would think they would take that as maybe we should make this good, make it better. But clearly they weren't putting any real effort into it. They just figured kids will go see it and we'll sell toys and that's all.
Yeah, and like Gio said, the way they look, like it looks like you can literally go up to them and take their heads off, like the helmet off, and like be like, "All right, we're good." It's not so hot.
Was this movie the start of every third movie in a franchise being bad. Yeah, that
Maybe.
X-Men 3, Spider-Man 3.
Probably of its time, yeah.
All the Jaws
Maybe.
sequels were bad, so maybe that's the only thing I think of. So you might be right.
Yeah, maybe. And then the other one is, we're just going to hit it quick. I don't personally remember it, but Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Gio, you said it was a animated movie release, so you seem to know the most, so go for it.
Yeah, Warner Brothers gave it a pretty high budget for an animated movie, a lot more than the typical one gets. This movie is just okay. So it's riding off the high of the animated series, which I was a fan of, and I watched a lot of as a kid. And it has the best parts about the animated series, which is the Bruce Wayne Batman that we see in there, the Mark Hamill's Joker. By the way, Batman voice.
Oh, this is where it's from. Okay. Now I know what movie this is. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. It just clicked when you said the Mark Hamill Joker. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. And so, God, how do I talk about this movie without spoiling it?
It was separate from the show. Like, it was slightly different, right? It was, even though they were playing the same, because it was Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, like you said. It was Bruce Timm. It was still his. But I think wasn't it kind of separate from the show?
I think it was a little bit separate from an animated.
Because I think the show was really supposed to kind of be based on the original Burton series, right? It was kind of like in that continuity.
Correct.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one, it's really good. I don't know how to talk about it without not spoiling it. I mean, there's
I never sat and
there's conflict. There's Bruce Wayne, conflicting internally about his life of fighting crime as opposed to going and living a normal life, because an old flame comes back into his life. There's the whole thing about Gotham PD and them going after Batman in a pretty intense way in the animated series.
Huh? A little bit older, right? Was he like a slightly older Batman, right? Was he a little bit?
I don't know. I think it was like mid-30s, I want to say. I don't think it was like no. But this movie didn't do that well at the box office. I think it was marketed poorly.
I just looked. Budget 6.5, brought in 8.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. But a lot of people. I mean, obviously, if you follow the Batman movies, this is the best Batman animated movie. But people are saying it's the best Batman movie.
There's people who say that
because it has everything that you love about Batman. Mark Hamill's Joker in there, the Phantasm, this mysterious new character,
right?
Who, if you watch the movie, it's just wow, like incredible. So much. There's pain, there's action, there's sadness, there's joy. I mean, this animated movie has it all. So check it out.
All right, so we are going to move on to 1995. We've got about 25 minutes left, so let's make sure we hit those good ones. And this is definitely a 90s movie, and that one is 1995's Batman Forever. This, if you are unfamiliar with it, this is the first time that Michael Keaton is not Batman. This is, of course,
Tim Burton is not behind the camera.
Yes, that is also a very good point. This is the first. Yes, Joel Schumacher is directing this one, and we now have George Clooney as Batman. Or no, excuse me, Val Kilmer as Batman, and then we've got some pretty heavy names alongside. We've got Nicole Kidman as her role as what's her name? Dr.
Chase.
Chase.
Meridian.
Yes.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yep, you're right. And then we've got Jim Carrey as Riddler. We've got Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face. Chris O'Donnell as Dick Grayson. Michael Goh is back as continuing as Alfred. And then I don't know why I'm blanking on her in this movie, but Drew Barrymore as Sugar.
Yes. Drew Barrymore is in this movie.
I can't picture her.
I totally forgot about that.
The scene where they're at the party and she's Jim Carrey's date.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think she's also one of Two-Face's girls.
I was gonna say she was a henchman or
yeah.
but
now now it's coming back.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is one of my trashy movies that I personally love because I remember this one because this was. Would you say this was the start of Jim Carrey taking off, or was this?
No.
Oh no. This was
go back a few years.
Yeah. Well, I would say no. 94. Well, you had Ace Ventura and The Mask, right? Weren't they both?
No, Mask is coming up. Mask is.
Oh, okay. Ace
Wait,
Ventura
did I skip?
94, right?
Oh, excuse me. I skipped one. I skipped 94. We're in 95. I'm jumping too far ahead. Sorry. Rewind.
Okay.
Forget what we said.
Pause on Batman Forever. We'll talk.
Yes.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We have 94, which is The Crow and The Mask. War R2. I haven't seen The Crow. I've heard about it forever. The Mask. This movie was like the childhood movie my parents put me in the corner to watch. Jim Carrey. That's all I need to say. You guys can touch on The Crow. I mean, I don't know anything about it.
1994 is a very big year for Jim Carrey. 3 solid hits in a row with Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, and The Mask.
Mm-hmm.
This was the year of Jim Carrey, 1994. And from there, his career just took off. Let's stick to The Mask for now. But Cameron Diaz, between her and
her debut, her first movie,
between her and Nicole Kidman from Batman Forever, I don't know which one's more gorgeous. I mean, Jesus Christ, beautiful. But yeah, the Mask, like perfect role for Jim Carrey. And I don't know a lot about the comics. I think The Mask was dark.
Yes, comics are very dark.
Super violent. Yeah, way more.
So for what they were doing for this movie, I mean, yeah, Jim Carrey, I mean, easy to say in retrospect, but yeah, Jim Carrey knocked it out of the park in this one. It's amazing. And the visual effects for the time, for The Mask.
Absolutely. His face getting stretched all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? Same thing?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, saw it in theater. That was hilarious. Yeah, Cameron Diaz was just like you said. I think it was her first movie. And
yep.
Like, oh, my God, who is that? Oh, my God, this must be one I've seen. But, yeah, Jim Carrey, Stanley Ipkiss was his name. The Mask.
Stanley Ipkiss, yeah.
Peter Green as the villain, the guy kind of pops up in a bunch of stuff throughout the 90s.
Yeah.
And that was hilarious. It's very, looking back, I showed this to the kids. Again, another movie I showed the kids recently. They were like, "Yeah, it's okay."
How dare they?
But, it's different.
I mean, there are just so many hilarious scenes in this movie. I mean, I don't know which one's better. The dance routine he does at the park, or what he does in the ballroom, where he starts playing the music and then he dances with Cameron Diaz. Meanwhile, the henchmen upstairs are like, "That's the guy right there. That's the guy."
Yeah.
It's
and this movie brought in money. Budget $23 million, walked out $351.6 million.
Wow.
You
So-
think Hollywood's not? Wow, they're like, wow, Jim Carrey. We
Yeah.
got to get this guy.
Yeah.
What's our next project? Batman. Okay, he's in.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, do you want to touch The Crow? at
Yeah,
all?
real quick. Keith, did you watch this in theaters or were
I
you?
didn't see it in the theater. I saw it the one time on video, and it's the only time I've seen it. So it's kind of a standard story. You know, guy gets killed, by it's been so long, but you know, seeking revenge on his killers and
Criminals. They kill
Right.
him and his girlfriend.
him and his girl. That's right. Yeah.
Pretty much kills him, but he comes back to life. Has
Just
powers.
A lot
life.
of rain.
Yeah.
Being a lot of rain.
Very, very dark.
very dark.
And unfortunately, this movie will forever have a cloud over its head for the sudden and tragic passing of Brandon Lee, who was Bruce Lee's son. He was accidentally shot on set. They were doing I think they were reshooting an action sequence where there were supposed to be blanks and the gun, but for whatever reason there was a
live one.
Yeah, there was a live one, and some people online they're saying it happens during this scene, that scene. I know which scenes they're talking about. It's very disturbing. I almost want to skip over it every time. But it ended the life of a very promising up-and-coming action star. I mean, this movie came out. This movie is really good. I'm going to put it on our watch list. I know Brian hasn't seen it. I don't know if Jacob has seen it or not. I'm pretty sure he has. Maybe not. But at 28 years old, just to lose someone. I mean, he's not just a rising star, but he's Bruce Lee's son.
Yeah.
And, that... It was just tragic, and the performance he gives in this movie, it's very good, very physical, very charismatic. Like you can see when you watch the movie, he has it. He has it.
He was on his way.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the movie, like I said, I think the movie's good. Like actually, to this day, it's still good. So.
Fair enough. So yeah, now we're gonna go to 1995 with Batman Forever. I already said most of it already. Like we said, the Riddler, Jim Carrey, height of what's going on with him, his popularity, Val Kilmer as Batman. I already said my piece, most of it. Do you guys want to touch on anything with it?
Oh God, I don't know. It's just as a kid, I enjoyed the movie. Today, not so much. We're just growing up, and rewatching it. And every year that I got older and I rewatched it, I liked it less and less. It's just what fascinates me the most these days about this movie is the behind the scenes of what could have been. They tried to get Tim Burton back. They really wanted Michael Keaton back. Both said no. Especially Michael Keaton when he saw Joel Schumacher's vision for this movie. I mean, you can clearly see that there are people at Warner Brothers who wanted it to be different than what Tim Burton, gave us the first two movies. Clearly, the colors,
the green,
yes, And yeah, I don't know. I mean, this one was a modest success. It wasn't completely hated as the next one that we'll talk about in 10 minutes, 2 years from now. But you want to talk about taking the restraints off, like they did for Tim Burton for Batman Returns. How about Jim Carrey coming off 3 big hits the year prior? You think they're telling him, no, don't do that or don't do this. They're telling him, Jim Carrey,
be Jim Carrey.
Play the role, be Jim Carrey, because people love you. And it's like, yeah, we love him, but too much of a good thing is not a good thing. And too much Jim Carrey, because sometimes, like, whoa.
What do you think, Keith?
Kiss from a Rose, Seal.
Oh,
Yes.
that's right. That's this
Yes.
one. Oh, that's all you need to say.
I was about to start singing, but I don't want to be too loud.
I love that song. That song still holds up to this day.
Yeah, that was a
great
good
song.
song. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this movie's bad. There's not really much to. It's not as bad as the next one, but I actually think Jim Carrey is actually pretty good in it as the Riddler. He's way over the top, super goofy, over the top Jim Carrey, but I didn't think he was actually that bad at all. But everything
Tommy Lee
else,
Jones is.
what are you doing? It's one of those ones. It's one of those things where he literally and he's mentioned it like so many people. He only did it because his kids or grandkids or somebody wanted him to be in it or something. So he took.
I remember this. I remember this because I remember it had like McDonald's cups or something that they advertised with, and I had to have them all.
Yes.
So something like that.
So you're getting into that's what we're getting into at this point.
Yep.
With these movies, that it's all the marketing and the selling
the
merchandise.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So we got 15 minutes left and 4 more years. 1996, not the best movie year. I don't even think we're really going to talk that much about it. The Crow, City of Angels, The Phantom, and Tales from the Crypt, Bordello of Blood. I mean, we've got
fair.
Yeah. Anything, Gio?
Billy Zane is fun sometimes.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not the
he's clearly having a blast, and you might have some fun watching him have a blast in this movie, but
forgettable.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move us into the year of the 90s, and that is 97. We've got Batman and Robin, Men in Black, Spawn, and Steel. Now, we only have 14 minutes left, and we still have 2 movies after that. Who wants to go? Who wants to take a shot at this first one?
Go ahead, Keith.
Let's see. Okay, Men in Black. I saw I'm so excited. This is Will Smith coming off of the sitcom Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, coming off of Independence Day the year before.
Yes.
He's the biggest star as a star could be at this point. And he started making music again. Obviously, we know the soundtrack and the song Men in Black, which I still love to this day. I dressed as Men in Black for Halloween last year. And I love this movie. I love the score with Danny Elfman. Barry Sonnenfeld directing.
Yep.
Will Smith, as bad as Tommy Lee Jones was in the Batman one, he's great in this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's just Tony Shalhoub as the other. I forgot the guy's name. Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio is hilarious.
Oh my god,
as the Edgar suit as a bug in the Edgar suit. And this movie is wonderful. I love it. And it's not much more. I saw this movie in Paris, France.
Really?
In 1997. Yes. When it came out at Euro Disney.
Wow.
Yeah. And I saw it when I came back, saw it 2 more times. I love Men in Black. So that's one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah. This is a movie I remember going and seeing and loving as a kid. I echo everything you said. This is peak Will Smith.
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't say peak Will Smith. This is prime. Prime was the word I'm looking for.
He started up here, so
exactly. This is right up where one of those movies where you just fell in love with him even more. And Tommy Lee Jones, opposite of him, was perfect. This is one of the first movies I can remember seeing in theaters.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Gio, did you want to hit it?
Agreed. Yeah. No, pretty much. Yeah. You guys said
so for me, Batman and Robin, I vividly, this is probably the first, I was telling Gio early, one of, if not, I think the first comic book movie I remember watching as a kid, just because it was just so wild. I watched it today just to rewatch it. The movie's 2 hours and 5 minutes long. It should have been done at 2 hours and 4 minutes. Like it's 1 minute too long. The whole entire movie is puns, literally.
Yeah.
Although I will say, Mr. Freeze is pretty funny. Uma Thurman's not bad.
Great.
He's pretty good. Uma Thurman's not bad. This is obviously George Clooney as Batman, not Val Kilmer. And all I'm gonna say is Batman nipples.
Yes.
Why does the bat suit need Batman nipples?
Nipples,
so
Batman,
I
face.
There is one scene that I was kind of shocked when Alicia Silverstone puts on her bat suit. They literally go zoom in on her butt,
straight to her,
zoom in on her boobs, and just like I was like, whoa, like this is that's weird. Someone was a perv when they made that part. It was literally just
not even subtle.
No, at all. And so I was just like, all right. But this is the movie I remember. This, unfortunately, was probably my introduction to Batman, was this movie. So, Gio?
This movie sucks, but it did make Warner Brothers think long and hard about what they wanted to do next, and it ultimately gave us Batman Begins.
Did it? I don't know that it did. It taught them a lesson. But the fact that we went 8 years before we saw him again.
Well, yeah, because this movie sucks so badly, they just, I don't know. They
don't. This is, I can tell you just from. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just from researching. Like I said, when I was writing my paper in school about Batman. Just this is what they wanted to do all along, was make it goofy and like this, and they've never.
But
how they feel about Batman for some reason.
It reminded me very much of the Adam West type stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
But
this is what they've been trying to do.
As we get into 98, 99, 2000, the comic book genre started changing, like a lot.
No, I think this was the peak of like, okay, what are we? This is not the way to go. Like,
no, yeah,
I think the studios didn't know. I think they didn't know what. You're right, and we'll get to 98 in just a sec, but this. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Now that I say that, I mean, you're probably right.
Did either of you? I was gonna say, did either go finish what you were going to sentence?
I was gonna say, I just think someone somewhere had to see this and think we got to take some of this a little bit more seriously than we have.
Right.
Spawn. I haven't seen it. The movie to this day creeps me out and terrifies me. I don't want to watch it.
Oh, I'm gonna put it on our watch list because it really is.
It's John Leguizamo is great in it.
Yes,
but everything else is campy, silly.
And did you?
Michael
go ahead.
No, it's just it has its fun moments, but
and then did you want to quickly? You guys wanted to mention that Steel movie?
Steel. Yes,
I
had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this movie. Yes,
it's a family. It's very family kind of. It's silly, it's predictable, and you know, I really don't think it's that bad. The acting's not great. Flip Wilson.
Oh my god, I think awesome. I know that it was Shaq.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The only thing they did wrong was he didn't have the cape. He didn't have the cape with the Superman S.
Right.
Like that should have been. It should have been in those. Because I think they wanted to. It was going to be set like in the Superman Batman kind of universe, because that's what Steel he is. I mean, he's basically Iron Man. And he wears a Superman cape with the S on and everything. They didn't do that in the movie, but especially Shaq, who's called Superman. He's got the Superman tattoo and stuff.
Yep.
Quickly, your favorite Mr. Freeze pun?
Oh,
mine was always winterize your pipes. And we start spraying the pipes.
Hold on, I got mine.
Can't be ice to meet you and chill before he sprays all the time.
Yeah, that one was up there. All right, everyone, chill.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
After he crashes the function that they're at, he gets in his Mr. Freeze
his Freeze mobile,
and he goes, "All right, cool party."
Bad.
That's funny. That's actually funny.
Oh my god! All right, so we got two more in 5 minutes. So 98 Blade.
Whoa!
Perfect casting. Wesley Snipes, perfect casting.
Yeah.
He lobbied for this, I think, and Yeah, this was a game changer here.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this a couple years ago, and because Jake was like, I'm making you watch this, and it's actually really good, and I think it still kind of holds up to this day.
It does. Some of the effects are a little wonky. You can kind of obviously, but but even at the time, it was like weird big blood monster that Steven Dorff is great in this movie. He's really
is.
Yep, as Frost. Donal Logue as like his right hand. He's hilarious. Yeah. Hilarious in this movie.
Yeah. Chris Christopherson is Whistler.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another great casting. But a lot of people say X-Men was the first breakout big hit for Marvel, but maybe it was this movie.
It hit as a hit because X-Men made so much more money than this.
Right.
This one did all right from what I understand. But
you want the numbers?
I don't think a lot of people knew it was a comic. Oh yeah.
Box office, it brought in 131 million.
Okay. Yeah.
What was the budget for it?
Budget was
35 million. 40 million.
Probably
it
a lot.
Was 45.
Yeah, there you go.
So it made money.
It's kind of a lot. Yeah. So definitely made money. Yeah, I could. That sounds about right. But it was great, and got a great sequel out of it. We'll get to later next week. Next week. But
perfect casting. That's literally just like that. I think that's honestly what this movie's probably known most for is just Wesley Snipes. Yeah, Wesley Snipes as Blade, and I mean, people were still lobbying him to come back to do it. So
a lot of people, exactly. I was gonna say, he still wants to. He still wants to do it.
I know of course
he gave Mahershala Ali his blessing. I know, but
maybe he can come back and be the bad guy
or something. Yeah, I was gonna say, hopefully he could be in it.
I'd be down. That'd be cool. I'd be down.
Yeah.
And then so we're ending it out. 1999 Mystery Men. I have no idea what this movie is. You guys laugh every single time I bring it up. So go for it. It's apparently a jokey, campy or something.
Yeah, go ahead.
It is, but it's kind of I don't want to say dark comedy necessarily. It's not really like, I don't know. How would you? It's kind of slapsticky-ish. It's kind of dark as well.
It's Kick-Ass in 1999.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Totally
non-powered superheroes and super villains.
With Greg Kinnear,
what I call this. It's a very grounded story. It's. I don't know how to. It does not hold up. Today it doesn't. But
I heard that.
But for the time being, it was pretty cool. Just seeing these average, Joes, and Jane, get to put on a costume and become their version of a hero. Whether it's Shoveler or
William H. Macy.
Yeah, I think his name was Furious. Ben Stiller. Then you had
Mr. or Captain Furious or Mr. Furious.
Mr. Furious, I think. You had Captain Amazing, I think.
Greg Kinnear.
The Invisible Man.
Janine Garofalo had a bowling ball.
Yes.
She had a bowling ball skull in it.
Yeah. Oh, I know this. I didn't know anything you were talking about until the bowling ball with the skull in the face. I know what you're talking about now. Okay.
Have you seen it?
I've seen it. I wouldn't even say I could tell you what it's about, but I know I've seen it because I know once Keith said the bowling ball with the face, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was fine for the time. I enjoyed it. You want to talk about up and coming stars, Ben Stiller for sure. But
Pee Wee Herman is is he the guy that I can't remember his name, but That Pee Wee Herman guy. Yeah, he's the one that farts.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, wasn't that him?
God.
Yeah,
It looks like him. I'm pretty sure.
pretty sure that was him.
Damn.
Yes, he is. His name was Spleen. Paul Rubens.
Wow.
Paul Rubens. Yes. Yeah.
He does kind of look like Pee Wee Herman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I call him Pee Wee. Yeah. But yeah.
No,
William H. Macy.
it's fun.
William H. Macy.
I don't know if it's the same.
Oh, that's right. Kel from Keenan and Kel.
I was gonna say it was Keenan and or Kel. I know it was one of them. Since it was Kel, then okay.
Yep.
It was one of them. Yeah.
I'm slowly starting to piece this movie back together.
Yes.
But yeah.
It's. I don't know if it's fun today. Like if you haven't seen it, and you watch it for the first time, you might be like, "What the hell?" But
a kid would think it was stupid.
Right.
My kid would think it was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, especially today,
Yeah.
But at the time, people enjoyed it. People, they had fun with it. Because again, it's just regular people playing dress up.
Fair enough. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. We touched every year of the decade, 1990s through 1999. Oh, by the way, if you're asking where was Power Rangers, we did not include Power Rangers because Power Rangers started off as a TV show, not a comic. Just a little fun fact, because I actually didn't even think about that until.
We do need to shout out 1990. We've missed one. I thought about it while we were doing it. Is Dick Tracy. Now, granted, we're going back to like the 30s, okay, with comics, but Dick Tracy was a comic movie that I actually liked. I was a big Dick Tracy fan as a kid, but shout out to Dick Tracy as well. Al Pacino as Big Boy Caprice, nominated for an Oscar. Very super Al Pacino role if you ever see it. But
perfect. So like I said, we wrapped up our 90s. We've done the 80s, so that means next week we are going to hit the 2000s. So 2000 to 2009. You might start seeing some really familiar movies that are still pretty popular to this day. So check us out next week when we hit the 2000s. I am Brian for Apocaflix Movies. That is Gio. This is Keith. And we are your Nerd Nation crew. Make sure you're here next week. Grab a t-shirt on TeePublic if you haven't already. Subscribe, like, all that fun stuff. Catch us next week when we hit the 2000s, and we'll see you guys next time.